All right, guys, welcome back. 1776 or bust. And on the table, you see a gun, which I'm actually not going to be reviewing. This is the CZ SP01 Phantom. And the Phantom is one of those guns that you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It just depends on what your cup of tea is. Obviously, the CZ line has come a long way. It definitely has reached a certain level of notoriety than in the past, where most people didn't know what a CZ was for a long time. And now it's gained a huge amount of traction and a lot of fanboyism and fangirlism for that matter. But nonetheless, the SP01 Phantom is a fantastic handgun. I mean, if you're looking for a polymer version of a CZ75, this is probably the one you want to go with. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, you've got the P07 and the P09, which are all polymer versions of hammer-fired CZs. However, for whatever reason, I think this one just suits me a little bit better based on, in my opinion, the better ergonomics and just really that comfortable CZ75 feel. Now, this video is actually in regards to the sights that are on this. So recently I had somebody ask me, hey, are you going to make a video on the sights? And I decided to go ahead and say, why not? So as you guys can see, these are new sights that I just put on a couple of weeks ago. Ordered them on eBay and they came in fairly cheap, under $100. But these are the TRUGLO Tritium Pros. So these are not TFX Pros. These are not TFXs. These are Tritium Pros. So they do not have the fiber optic rods in here. These are just tritium vials in the rear and also in the front. But you will notice that in the front, you now have this really, really large, let me see if I can get in really close to that, but this fairly large globe in the front. And it is that same orange color as a TFX Pro. As a matter of fact, I'm going to actually show you the P01 that I have. Again, one of my favorite guns, and the gun is clear. But one of the things you're going to see here with the TFX Pros is you do have the inserts here for the fiber optics. That's what I'm looking for, in the front and the rear. And you're going to notice that it has also that orange ring. One of my biggest complaints about this front sight was the orange is a little dull, and more importantly, it's a little small. So even though they did try to brighten it up with a high-vis look, it never really lived up to that hype. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good factors involved with this one particular sight. For example, you got the tritium and you have the fiber optics, so it has that double feature to it, which is kind of cool. And a lot of people like it. However, one of my biggest complaints has always been that orange is just a little bit too, well, non-pronounced. And for me, as my age gets older, so does my eyes. And as a result, I'd like to have something a little bit brighter up front than something like that. So now if you look at these, again, they've actually made this a lot thicker. So that ring isn't as small. Now, I don't know if that's because there is no fiber optic in here and just the tritium vial, but that orange ring shows up a heck of a lot better, especially when you're pointing the gun. Again, if you look at the blue background on the table, you're going to notice that it does kind of pop a little bit more than, let's say, the original with that orange. And you can see, I'm going to try to zoom in. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but why not? Let's try it out. So that's as good as my camera's going to get. Again, I have it mounted over the table. They do show up fairly well, both. However, in daylight, it's a little bit different, and it's kind of difficult to get these in camera so that actually you can see both. But if I do it that way, you can see the difference. You see the one on the left that has a lot more pronounced orange versus the one on the right. And I have to say, I like the way these show up much better than these. But again, it's going to be about personal preference and which one you like better. Do you like the combination of the tritium and the fiber optic, or just the tritium? Now, the Tritium Pros initially came out, and I actually had a set of these when they first came out with the white globe on the front, which also actually, showed up very well. And I had them on a VP9. However, I no longer have that VP9, so I wish I could show you the difference between the two. However, I have to say I've been very pleasantly surprised about this. You can see that the height is fairly high. You also have a nice high shelf here, and it does kind of angle a little bit. So again, you also notice that the tritium vials in the back here, hopefully that'll come out on camera. There we go. But you can see it's kind of got that U-notch, and the tritium vials are fairly non-pronounced, which I like. And the reason why I like that is because you don't have to worry about kind of getting caught up looking at those rear sights. So when you do bring it up to your eye level, you're seeing that bright orange globe. Again, does it glow in the dark? Well, unfortunately, the orange does not glow in the dark, but that's okay because you still have that tritium vial inside. So I'm going to just show you some really quick pictures as we go through the end of this video so that you can get an idea of what this looks like in the dark. Otherwise, I have to say I'm very satisfied. These fit all CZ75 models. I'm actually going to be probably getting a set for P01, and that would be the green one, because that is the only one I need sights on right now, and it should and hopefully will fit correctly. One of the other things I do want to mention about this, when you do install these in the traditional CZ75 frame, you'll know that there's a pin here. Now, the pin has to go out from right to left based on the fact that the left side is fatter or wider than the right side. So you actually have to knock it out this way and then put it in reverse that way. But one of the bonuses of this sight, and kudos to TRUGLO, they actually cut out a piece of the sight so that when you put it in, the pin will go right in between it and hold it in place. For other sites, sometimes you have to do the drilling on your own. In this case, you don't have to do that. And to me, that's a huge thumbs up because it made it a super easy install with really no hassle. And other than that, I'm very happy with them. I mean, TRUGLO did a good job, and I really do hope they start coming out with these particular sights for more models of handguns because they are very affordable, and I think they do a great job. So tell me what you think. Let me know and leave some comments down below. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe. And as always, everyone, freedom is never free.